capital, and that's where they started to make. That's where they really developed the tea industry because it was for the emperor and the elite families. So his family's been in the business for 350 years. Sorry, I thought you might say it. 350 years. And you've been it the whole time. No. That's the joy of green tea. It makes you look young.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to taste some various teas. And we're going to have some senchas, some gyakuros, and then we'll do some matchas. Why don't we start? The first one is going to be the Ichiban Sencha.
Ichiban Sencha. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to tasting bar of Harney and Sons. And I came here 2 years ago and did the same thing, tasting here. But at that time I wasn't expecting to do it, so I was kind of nervous and was not ready. But at the time I remember when I finished the tasting session, everyone at the audience came to the bar and asked me for shaking hand. I was so impressed, and that really made me warm-hearted, grew me up as a tea merchant. So I really remember that. So I'm really happy to be back at the tasting bar of Harney and Sons. And I would say you are very lucky because you're living around here, and this is the center of world of tea, I would say. So today I'd like to talk about green tea from Japan. And I mainly talk about how to brew, but in the middle I would add some information. And the way I learned how to speak English was I was an exchange student to Hawaii about 25 years ago as a high school student, but I was there only for 1 year, so my English is a little bit not so good, so please allow me for that, okay? So let's start with Ichiban Sencha. This is Sencha from Shizuoka. Sencha is grown in the field, sunlight shining down, so it should taste kind of bitter, but refreshing at the same time. And this is deep steamed, so remember it will take shorter brewing time than you expect. We would use the water of 175 degrees.
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit, yes.
He was doing it. He's learning. He wasn't doing it in centigrade before.
So, for this brewer, I would use 2 teaspoonfuls of leaves. And gently pouring over the leaves. And you would wait maybe 45 seconds before pouring out. I think you should do like 2 minutes, but it's too long for sencha or Japanese tea. Ichiban sencha is deep steam, so it's broken, so it comes out very easily, so you shouldn't wait too long. So you could tell by looking at the leaves, the color is changing and the leaf roll is opening out. So it's a time to pouring out. When you pour out, you do this little by little, and when you use cups, you go back and forth little by little so you can make every cup even. And when finishing, you should do to the very last drop, because this is the most delicious part, okay? Okay, it's ready. Now let's move to the Matsuda sencha, which is regular steam sencha from Uji. And I would use even lower temperature because I would like to take the sweetness out of tea leaves. This is what they do, water brewing. And why I would explain why they do water brewing. Okay, tea has a taste of bitterness and sweetness in it, and bitterness comes from catechins or tannins, what we call, and sweetness comes from theanine, which is very strong sweet amino acid. Okay, and theanine, the sweetness, comes out at a very low temperature, but tannins or catechins, the bitterness comes out at higher temperature, over maybe 70 degrees centigrade, which is, it's around, I think, 170 or 180.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would use maybe 70 degrees centigrade, which is around 160. So I would use this water, 175, and add some cold water to make it a little cooler. Okay, now here is gyokuro. Gyokuro is processed same way with sencha, but grown differently. In the tea field, when threshing in April, we shade the tea field, so the tea plant stops photosynthetic activities of the plant itself, and they stop turning theanine into catechins. So only sweetness lives there. So gyokuro is very sweet. But today, let's move to matcha. And gyokuro and matcha is grown same way in the tea field. They are grown, shaded grown. So both gyokuro and matcha should be sweet. But matcha is from tencha. And tencha is grown, shaded grown, but after steamed, it dried without rolling. So it should look like
Something like this.
yeah, something like this, like fall leaf. Please take a look.
You can pass it around.
Yeah, and maybe you could have little bite.
Sure.
Okay. After to make matcha, we use stone mill, and we grind these leaves into this fine powder. This is matcha. Okay. And matcha is known to be used in tea ceremony. I'm not good at tea ceremony, so please excuse, I do things wrong way. But today, I would like to present a easier and casual way to brew, to fix matcha. Okay. So usually people use tea whisk and can I find matcha bowl? Yeah. Matcha bowl like this to fix matcha. And what they do is in tea ceremony they use hot water and they whisk with this bamboo whisk. But for the people who do it for the first time, it's kind of difficult. So I would use more easier way to fix with bamboo whisk. Okay, I would use 2 scoop of bamboo scoop, and before using hot water, let's use small amount of cold water. Like this, only this much. And just gently mix it to make paste. And the water is cold, so it doesn't take the catechins, the bitterness out. So you can take your time and make green paste. And then you can add hot water above it and whisk. To whisk, just go back and forth like this, not making circle, just going back and forth. I'm sure Hatsue-san over there who does shadow much better, so please excuse, but
14 years? How long have you been studying?
Over 20 years.
oh,
20 years.
so she's sensei, master.
No, no, still student.
Yeah, but
Is he doing okay?
Yeah, excellent.
thank you,
Different way.
thank you very much. She's very kind. Okay, so it's ready.